Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man's Corner channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, wearing my homemade Killer Santa getup again, because today I'm reacting to another Christmas-themed Mr. Nightmare episode for you guys. This one's 9 creepy, unsolved Christmas time mysteries. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off again, move the camera back up here for you guys, and let's get this reaction on the road and in the bag.
On Christmas Day, 1996, 32-year-old Patty Vaughn left her home in Lavernia, Texas, and never came back. Her car was found 15 miles from her house, but her body was never discovered. The only thing that she left behind were bloodstains all around her house and 3 children, all who were playing in their house at the time, and didn't notice she was gone until hours later.
Okay, how in the world did the kids not know that she was gone? Were they playing and making a lot of noise and must have not heard her walk out the door? Or I'm thinking it's somebody that walked in like a home prowler person, murdered her, took her in a car, and then ditched the car and took her. That's my theory. I don't know if you guys would agree with that or not. I hope her family does get peace.
In 2001, the Merlin family was attending a small Christmas party in Denver. A Santa Claus was hired anonymously to come in and hand out presents to the children at the party. It was seen by many attending the party that the Santa Claus whispered something into one of the Merlin's sons' ears when he was sitting on his lap. A few minutes after the Santa said his goodbyes and left the party, the young Merlin boy left the firehouse that was hosting the party as well, only to never be seen or heard from again. The anonymous Santa also disappeared without a trace.
How can he disappear without a trace? I mean, the people that they hired him from did not know, or if he was just like a random self-employed Santa. But I bet you he whispered to meet him out back somewhere. He'd give him an extra present or something, and boom, kidnap him. Yeah, kids can be lured in with Santa Claus and gifts pretty easily. So my advice to all of you is, if you witness that happening at your Christmas party, before the kid disappears on you, ask the kid, what did the Santa tell him? And if he said he was going to meet him out back or something, be like, all right, we're going to confront this guy, because I'll be calling the cops on somebody like this. But it's still strange that he's gone without a trace. All right, this was baffling me. Let's get on to the next one.
Tracy Mertens moved from Birmingham to Rochdale with her boyfriend Joey Cavagna and their 2 young children.
Okay.
On December 23rd, she went back to her old flat to fetch some things when 2 men came inside the flat and abducted her. The men took her to the town of Eaton, placed her on the steps in front of a church, and burned her alive.
What?
She managed to stay alive long enough to tell the story and kept repeating what the men were asking her, "Where is Joey?" before they set her on fire. Joey debunked ever having known anyone who would have done this to his family.
I don't know why in the world that they kidnapped her and put her in front of her church and set her on fire like she was a witch. But whoever did that to her is sorry, and I hope they burn in hell. And the fact that she was calling out her boyfriend's name, too, before she got killed is heartbreaking. It must have been a bunch of either people that were into the witchcraft stuff or either satanic people. I hope the police do solve this case. Bring justice to her family and her boyfriend.
19-year-old Rhonda Hinton was murdered on December 22nd, 1981, after attending a company Christmas party. She died from someone firing a bullet that traveled through the trunk and driver's seat and then into her heart. What was never explained about Rhonda's murder was a mystery man who witnesses had spotted standing next to her car around the time of her death. Rhonda's parents also told the police she was acting strange just days before the murder occurred.
So if she was acting strange, something tells me that she was being followed. Hence why people said there was a man standing right next to her car. That would break the laws of physics for me, because I just can't see a bullet going right through a trunk of a car and then going all the way through to the driver's heart. Unless he has some sort of sniper rifle, which that baffles my mind, too. If you guys have a better explanation, leave it down in the comments, all right?
During the 1960s and 70s, the city Warminster in England was known as a place where UFO sightings kept happening. However, the sightings were not initially flying objects, rather unexplained sounds. The most curious case was of Marjorie Bye, who was on her way home from a Christmas church service when she was knocked to the ground and paralyzed by the strange vibrating noises. She described the experience as being pinned down by the invisible fingers of sound. She never recovered.
Now, that's the first time I ever heard of sound pinning somebody down to the ground. Unless if it was like a gut-wrenching sound that makes your ears just want to close. Yeah, I never even heard about this case. If you guys know about anything about this, let me know down in the comments as well.
Jared Betterson and Susan Klingel lived in Dearborn, Michigan with their daughter Nicole. Soon after Nicole turned 2, they were in a car accident and Nicole's mother Susan passed away.
Oh.
Jared then remarried to a woman named Barbara, with whom he decided to move, but never saying where to exactly to his family or his late wife's family. Ever since that move, Nicole was never seen again, and Jared and Barbara were only found after they both committed suicide 20 years later. The only thing left behind them was a note saying they were sorry for all they've done.
What do you got to be sorry about? Unless the car accident wasn't an accident, it was real. And the person he married was an accomplice or something. Hope they do find that little girl. If she's still alive, that is.
In 2007, in a small town in Arkansas, there was an unknown man dressed as Santa Claus walking around town that left gifts on about 6 people's stoops.
Okay, first off, before he continues, that mask is creepy, and I'm surprised this kid ain't freaking out right now.
5 of them were later revealed to be old useless toys and other junk, while Jamie Frester and her husband received a package containing a series of papers. Most of them consisted of nothing but old office papers dating back to the 80s and 90s, but there was one note that stood out due to its large writing. It said simply, "I'm sorry for whatever..."
I take it back. This Santa picture is creepy. I know he's probably telling her to say cheese at the camera, but she's looking like she wants to scream, "Mommy!"
happens to your son. 2 years later, their 12-year-old son Chris was hit by a car while crossing the street on his bike and suffered fatal injuries. The car that hit him did not stop to help and was never identified. To this day, it was never learned who the mysterious Santa Claus was, or if that note was purely coincidental.
I'll say it's coincidental. He was trying to tell his parents in advance that he's sorry about what he's about to do to your kid, and then he whacks him. But you're doing it on purpose. I don't think it's a good apology to, write a note saying that you're going to do that. I'm surprised the eyewitnesses did not take a good picture of the car and they're still not able to find him. Oh, man, these crooks are starting to get more smarter every day, I tell you.
38-year-old Lockhart, Texas resident Latricia White was spending Christmas of 1994 with her boyfriend Lee Wackerhagen and his 9-year-old son Chance. Lee was supposed to drop off his son to his mother on Christmas Day, but decided to keep him for a few more days. A few days later, Lee's girlfriend Latricia was found dead in their apartment, and Lee and his son were never seen again. The police suspected Lee killed Latricia and ran, taking his son with him, but their suspicions were never confirmed, as Lee was never found.
Okay, how is he never found? I mean, if he's in a different state, somebody would have heard about this case and call ahead to authorities, be like, "I think I found the guy you're looking for." I mean, somebody should have had tipped off some local authority about who he is. But yeah, if his hope they do find that guy and ask him why did he take him without telling anybody else.
Everyone who celebrates Christmas knows the song "A Visit from St. Nicholas," or better known as "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
I sure do. I'm starting to collect a bunch of these Night Before Christmas books now. But anyway, let's continue.
However, the origin of this song has a fair amount of mystery links to it. For many years, no one knew who wrote it. A visit from St. Nicholas was sent anonymously to the Sentinel, a newspaper in New York, and first published on December 23, 1823. It's still not established who wrote it, as several men came forward saying it was them, but literature experts were never really able to determine who was telling the truth. The original author was finally determined in 1837 when Clement Clark Moore claimed authorship.
Yeah, there was a bunch of debate over who wrote the original Night Before Christmas, but I know it had to be Clement C. Moore because I think a family member later on after he died came forth and said that they got proof that it was him that written, and they had like original versions of like original papers of what he wrote the poem on. So they got proof of that. But then, you know, there was a lot of people saying, oh, it could have been Washington Irving that wrote it, or somebody else, but I can't think of the other person right now. But I still think it's Clement C. Moore, so I'm sticking with that. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications for more Mr. Nightmare content like this. And if you got any theories on any of these cases, let me know down in the comments, all right? Because I'm baffled by some of these things. I can't explain them. And this has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Corner channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and I say that's a wrap. Have a nice day, y'all.